What's up, YouTube? Adam Patterson out here, of course, and I want to talk to you about taking your medicine. This thing you used to do when you were sick as a kid, you wanted to get better, and it was always the worst thing in the world. It was probably grape flavored, which is just absolutely the worst, or it was that super strong cherry flavor that at first you thought tasted good, and then the after flavor of it sucked, and it was just terrible. In business, that is whatever you have to do to push your business forward. So taking your medicine in my line of work is making your cold calls. And I do it first thing in the morning. I find that I always have more success when I just knock out the thing that sucks first thing in the day. If it sucks like hell. It absolutely is terrible to make cold calls. You never know what's going to happen. You're constantly worried that someone's going to be over there, F you, hangs up, take me off your list, whatever. Those are the worst things that could possibly happen. Those are the same thing as a no. And all you have to do is take out the emotion from it and just go, whatever. And then just call them again tomorrow. It doesn't really make that big of a deal. The worst things that happen are being told no, being told F off, being told take me off your list. All you have to do, if you're worried about ever calling them again, legitimately just take them off your list. You don't ever have to call them again. There are enough customers for every single industry out there that you don't have to call one prospect twice if you do not want to. Now, that is taking your medicine. That is absolutely taking your medicine. And that comes with the territory. Anything that has a potential upside also has a potential downside to it. Making cold calls has the potential upside of changing your entire life. It has the upside of changing my entire life. One cold call can change my life. If I make one dial and it turns out to be to, an enterprise shipper or somebody who moves way more freight than I had expected, and they don't receive a lot of calls, or they're looking for a new partner today, and they just are ready to make a change, they're ready to hear me out, I could from today go from what I'm currently making to tomorrow making significantly more. The downside to it isn't that, you make one cold call and all of a sudden your business goes to hell. It's not like you're going to lose all your current customers because you're cold calling. The downside is that you could suffer some emotional stressors, which is making the dial first and foremost. Making the dial is the scariest part. Everyone sits there and overthinks and overanalyzes to think, oh my gosh, what am I going to say to this? What am I going to say to that? All you have to do is have a conversation. It doesn't have to be anything unique. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't even have to offer anything of true value in the point. When you first call them, you're not pitching these people. If it's a cold call, you're absolutely not pitching these people. You don't pitch until way on down the line. And you have to get to the point of pitching because you don't know anything about the prospect. And you can lie to yourself all you want and be like, I did all the research. I did all this. I know exactly everything. You don't. You don't know anything. And because of that, you shouldn't go into it as if you know anything. You can know what you do know from your current experiences and situations with your current customers. And if you don't have any customers, you can freaking lie if you really want to. But hopefully you've been in whatever you're doing now for a little while where you have at least some experience when things do go right. And you need to take the medicine. You need to make the cold calls. You need to keep things flowing. I like to take the first 3 to 4 hours of my day and do the things that are really going to push my business forward in terms of for the future. So I want to say it like this. I have current customers that I can absolutely quote, that I can reach out to, and I can spend my entire day talking to. That will not push my business forward. That will keep my business where it is. And I love speaking to my customers. It is my first thing that I do is I send them an email in the morning or I call a couple of them. But it is not where I'm going to spend the majority of my morning hours once 8 a.m. hits. It's not where I'm going to spend the majority of my time. The service is already being provided. I will continue to provide the service, but it is not going to be my focal point for the first 4 hours of my day. The focal point for the first 4 hours of my day is new business. So new companies to cold call, follow-up calls on old cold calls that I made to move prospects from prospect to qualified to interested to discovery conversation, from discovery conversation to quoting, from quoting to onboarding, from onboarding to running. And that is what my point is. when I am making these calls. That's the first thing that I do every morning is I take my medicine. My medicine is to help me get better, right? So if I look at my business as if I'm always sick and I need to get better, how am I going to get better? I need more customers. I need more load count. I need more revenue. I need everything to be bigger. Bigger is better. That is always the case. It will always be the case for everything. When it comes to the world of business, when it comes to the world of sales, you need to do the things that suck because the things that suck are the things that are actually going to get you somewhere. In terms of weightlifting and keeping like a healthy body, when you first start weightlifting, it sucks. It's not fun. It is not fun to walk into a gym, be the smallest person in there, lifting the smallest amount of weights that anybody else is doing and having no idea what you're doing. You need to take your medicine though, because you need to start and you need to take your medicine and then you eventually it'll become a different type of medicine, a medicine that you enjoy to take. And it's more like vitamins. And you go in and you go, I know how to do this. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting stronger. And all of a sudden you're still taking your medicine. You're doing the work, but it doesn't feel like that anymore. And that is to the point where you get to with cold calls, because once you do it enough, enough days in a row, it's not going to feel like anything different. You're just using discipline and habit now to make cold calls and to start growing your business. And I'm sure you can relate this to whatever else that you're going through in life. You have to take your medicine. You have to walk into your office. You have to deal with your boss, and you just have to keep pushing forward. And you need to do the thing every single day that is going to push you forward a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And I think that you should do it early, because the earlier that you knock it out, the thing that sucks, but you know it's going to help push you forward, you can just focus on all the things that you enjoy for the rest of the day. And so for the rest of the day, I've already done my cold calls and everything. I'm going to now add in a few more leads, probably 15 more, and I'll call them at some point in this day, probably between after I eat my breakfast, which I'm about to go make here in a minute, and before lunchtime or 2 p.m. And then I'm going to work on a RFP that I got, which is a massive RFP, which is from taking my medicine. And the only reason that I got it is because I called on one guy for an entire year, and he finally answered and he said, "You've been calling me for a long time." And I said, "That's because I think that I could be the best thing that ever happened to you." And he goes, "All right, we'll give you a shot then." So I am now on their RFP, and it could be an absolutely, not even just it would be absolutely life changing, but it would be like generationally life changing if I were to land this customer. And with how I'm approaching everything, I think that I will land them, and I think that my life will be changed. And I think it's going to be a very cool thing. But it would have never gotten to that point had I not taken my medicine. This guy ignored my calls every single day for an entire year. An entire year. How many people would have given up in that time frame? Tons. I'm sure it would be tons. I'm sure it would be nearly everybody. But you have to be a little bit insane, and you think that there there needs to be a little bit of entitlement that goes into it, where you go, I deserve this opportunity and I should have this opportunity, and therefore I am going to keep on calling. I'm going to keep on prospecting this person because I know that I can help them. And that is where I come from. I come from a place of, I will be the best service provider that you have ever had. And as long as you're willing to give me a shot, I'll give it everything I got. And then if I don't win, I don't win. But that's just how the game goes. You don't win everything. And you can't have a 100% closing rate. Anyone who does, they must have only worked with friends and family. Um, yeah. But that's everything that I had for this one, guys. You just got to take your medicine. You got to do the thing that sucks. You got to do the thing that you don't want to do. If you're feeling lazy today, you still got to get off your ass and go to the gym. If you're feeling lazy at the office today, you still got to pick up the phone and make your cold calls. I don't know any other role in a business other than, collections, sales. That's where I work at. That's what I do. So I can't really relate it to whatever else you're going through, but if you're going through something and you know that to push forward, to reach that next level, you have to do something that sucks, I would do it first thing, because that's when you're at your most disciplined. That's when you have your most willpower, and you can just power through all that crap that sucks and you'll get it done. And then you can move on to the things that you enjoy, and then time will just fly by for the rest of the day. But that's everything I had for you in this one, guys. Leave a like on the video, of course. Of course, subscribe to the channel because there's always more coming. And then leave a comment below. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know how you push through it. And let me know if you put it at the front of your day in terms of your structure. Because if not, I don't know how you do it, guys. Peace.